Hey, Bruno Coppola with us first tonight, all the way from Laconia, New Hampshire. Bruno, welcome to the show. Thursday night here in the Source Media headquarters, and we're getting ready to go live with Torque Performance. Killer show come to you guys tonight in just 4 minutes. Stick around. You want to do us a favor, hit that like and share button so we can get this program all over the place. Daryl Huxell in the house, Nancy Weems with us, Rachel Fishback, Troy McCracken. What up from Lakeland? Good to see all you guys, man. Hey, special shout out to everybody from Choppertown, our Choppertown family, helping us carry this feed. We appreciate it. We go live with Torque every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's another 60 to 90 minutes of performance talk and entertainment. Get ready, we're going live in just 3.5. Bobby Clark, Southern California in the house. Steve Henderson here with us. Mike Draco down the list today. I don't know what's going on, buddy. You're freaking me out. Dan Eveready Skelton, Hardcore Cycles Inc. That's what's up. Hey, you know what? I want to remind you guys, if you're watching the show this evening, wherever you're watching from, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, you don't have to just be an observer. Make sure you put your questions, comments, concerns in the box wherever you're watching from, and it'll come up on our screen, and we'll get to it throughout the show. So if you have some questions for the guests or about anything we're doing here, let us know and we'll get to it. All right, sounds like the boys are in the back getting those bikes fired up and getting ready to launch this one with 30 seconds left. It's time to cut you guys loose and go live with this week's installment of Torque Performance. Here we go.
Actual footage of me sliding into work this week. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the SHINE WERKS studio. I'm your host, Jason Hallman, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. John O'Brien. I hope everybody had a good week. I'm pretty excited. If you don't know, guess where I'm going tomorrow, John? Anyone? Bueller?
Hey,
Bueller?
I lost you for a second. I'm back now.
There we go. Did you get to see me sliding into work?
I did. You're doing great.
Yeah. Let's not have this on now.
Cool.
I've got this on now because you know where I'm going tomorrow?
Yeah, I know where you're going tomorrow. You lucky fuck.
I wish you were going.
I know. So do I. I definitely wish I was going.
I got my new Bell Carbon Eliminator helmet.
How are you liking that?
Communicator. Huh?
How are you liking that?
Dude, I love this thing. It's super light.
Yeah.
Super comfortable, super light. So I'm jazzed up, dude. I'm flying tomorrow. I had a crazy week. I talked to you about that earlier today. Good stuff, bad stuff, whatever. It's just stuff. You know, it just happens like that. We've got an excellent guest tonight, somebody that's super important to me and super important in the performance community, Cody Childress. We've got some good news. We've got some things are starting to heat up about Sturgis, right? Have you heard? I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of dudes riding right now from Clockworks to the BRL race that I'm going to meet up with those dudes tomorrow.
Did you see the size of their pack?
Yeah, they were all
decent. You know what I mean? That was a decent mix of bikes. You know what I mean? It was a decent mix of bikes, decent size.
I wish I could have gone on that ride. It's just that part of the country is way too far away from where we're at. You know what I mean? Cameron Edwards wants me to fix my hair or get my hat on. I just had my hair cut today. You guys give me a little bit.
You got the fresh cut there.
Oh,
Here,
yeah, sounds good.
You know me, man. You know how I roll. Got to look fresh for the ladies, you know. Right?
God help us.
Yeah, God help everybody.
So what's your first thing when you get there? What are you going to go right to? What's the first thing you want to see?
Well, I'm going to go in. Obviously, I've got a little bit of a self-dealing transaction, but I'm going to go. I want to meet all the racers like before the race. I want to get some conversation with them and find out what's going on. You know, I want to see if they've got any of those pre-race jitters. Did you look at the itinerary for the racers at all?
I did.
So they've got.
I did. I looked at that earlier today.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up real quick because there's quite a few things going on. Like they've got a full boat or a bevy of things going on. I know there is a stunt competition of sorts, and I thought it was just a stunt show. And I know that some of the things kind of changed a little bit, but I've got the schedule here up in front of me. And so on Thursday, they had a few things today. They opened the facility.
Yep.
Tomorrow, load-in begins. Credentials, tech inspections at 10. The garage is open at noon. I'm stoked about that. It says credential required, so I'm sure we're fine there. Then there's some spectator stuff, office open. And then the track walk, the racers only at 5 p.m. They're going to do the track walk. And then 7 p.m. the stunt show. So I'm stoked about that. And then, man, the balance of things that are going on Saturday. You know, they race on Sunday. So
yes, Saturday
is generally that's going to be I'm going to be pretty busy because they've got the track walk. There's the pro stock bagger warm up at 8:30 a.m. Hooligan warm up at 9:30 is Big Twin. And then they break for lunch at 11. Stunt competition at 11 starts at a different arena there. And then the bike show for the Arlen Ness bike show. And then there's the Metzler pro stock bagger qualifications. Qualifications start at noon. And you know, there's dudes that are trying to make that show, right? Racers, I should say. There's not just dudes, right? We have Patricia Fernandez is going to be out there as well. Corey West.
Did you see her bike? They revealed it yesterday.
I didn't. Did you see the post? Listen, I can talk about this because she puts it on Instagram. She's easy to look at. You know what I mean? I was going through Instagram and I was like, whoa, wait. I don't follow any pages like that. I don't want to get in trouble. And I'm like, this is Racer Lady, son of a bitch. That was cool. Yeah. So I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be a blast. I wish you were going, dude.
I wish I was making it. I was wishing that
every time I go somewhere, you're like, what are you doing?
My wife's in a wedding.
Oh, that's right.
So, and this wedding's been pushed off, you know what I mean, because of COVID and this week, you know what I mean? So I mentioned maybe them doing it another weekend. Of course, I was a selfish prick.
Yeah. Well, you know. Can't get him to move everything, right?
No, I try like hell though.
I mean, you want me to give her a call? I'll have a conversation.
Yeah, let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, of course. That's what I live for. Fixing other people's shit for free.
Dude, I'm curious if there's going to be any mechanical failures during the qualifications.
I hope so. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I hope they're pushing these things as hard as they can.
So do I. Yeah, so do I.
There's two camps. I think there's the people that are talking shit about it's not mostly stock, but it's, like stock modified, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other people, the naysayers and the guys that are talking the most trash, or that these things are purpose-built race bikes and, this, that, and the other thing. And I happen to know, I've seen them in person. Some of them, when I was at Saddleman, the frames are unmodified. They've got the bolt-on rear sections and things like that, but the frame and then they've got, like alloy art and swing arms and things like that. But
did you see Patricia's bike? They were melting the lead to line under to get that back up to weight.
The ballast. That's when you listen. I can tell you as a drag racer that was involved in some class racing that Nick, real quick, Nick Hildebridal.
Yeah, talking shit is 80% of the game. Yeah,
talking shit's like 95% of the game, dude. What are they racing for? How many laps? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
98% of it is talking shit. And the other, it's like I was talking with. It's like racing is about trying to fudge the rules until you can actually, you either get caught or or win or both.
Did you see? Was it Garcia's bike that went down during the King of Baggers during the qualifications? The brake pads. No, that was somebody else. The brake pads locked up. Dude, he fucking shredded the primary. They didn't have a spare. They got a welder in there, fixed it up.
Was that the one that Roland was doing?
Yes.
Okay, that one.
Yeah, that was Garcia's.
Did you see the primary that Bobby at Roaring Toys sent over to? Dude,
yes,
that thing is badass, right?
It is. So, dude, there's so much cool shit.
At the very beginning of this, dude, this is going to create like a whole new economy of race parts. I'm stoked, dude. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, look at that.
Awesome. Oh, that bike's down.
Dude, he got shredded. The bike got shredded, and he raced the next day. Dude,
these are competitors, bro.
It's impressive. Yeah, it's impressive.
People are coming to help. That's the best part too. I mean, even drag racing, I miss it terribly. When you're out there racing and having a good time, dude, there's nothing like it. Oh, son of a gosh.
Look at that fucking torque.
Yeah, dude. Oh, guys, nice name drop. Because horsepower is what you ride.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, man, I'm excited. I'm not excited for you. You're going to be at a wedding. I think we've got a lot of things going on. Let's go to Chris Callan for our news.
Let's see what we got.
All right, Jason, John, thanks a lot, man. Hey, I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and this is the Torque Quick 60. First up in the news this evening, and this comes from Cycle Source Magazine. Harley-Davidson announces From Evolution to Revolution, global reveal event. Harley-Davidson announces a new mid-season motorcycle reveal. From Evolution to Revolution, this virtual launch experience will be held July 13th, 2021 at 10 a.m. CDT. The new model follows the exciting arrival of the Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 with its all-new Revolution Max powertrain in dealerships around the world. Following a successful launch of our first adventure touring motorcycle, the Pan American, we're excited to reveal another all-new motorcycle built on the Revolution Max platform. John, you know what that means.
I know.
You know what that means, my man. Here it comes.
That's half a V-Rod, John. You got to be pretty excited.
I know. Minus the fanny packs and the fucking the spikes and the gay jokes.
Well, are you going to get some pants with some fleur-de-lis on the back of them, and the whole.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
You're going to get a wallet chain for your wallet chain?
Dude, the fucking memes, dude, I love the V-Rod engine. You know what I mean? It was just the way it took off was just so wrong. You know what I mean? And then like the dude dressed like Mad Max walking up to the V-Rod in the parking lot. I'm like, these fucking guys are killing me. You know what I mean? And secretly, that engine was the best engine.
It was. And you know that's the big thing here is I'm excited to see what that does, because what we wanted to see originally with the V-Rod was how it handled in different chassis. You know what I mean? And with this thing especially, like I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah. And does anybody have any sneak peeks at this?
No.
Or is there any black market?
Nope. No, man. Harley Davidson, the thing that they do better than anyone else in the world is keep secrets with shit. I mean,
motorcycles.
Once in a while you get like a VIN number slip up, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, we're excited
Can I just comment on that real quick? Like, I did some digging and reading. You know, the company that the CEO turned around last before his entrance into Harley?
Wasn't it Fila?
It was Puma.
Puma, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fila.
You know, Fila, Puma. Whatever.
I just got a new pair of Pumas.
It's a tennis shoe guy dealing with boot guys.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, maybe I'm looking. Listen, as a sneakerhead, I'm hoping that Harley has some really cool sneakers that come out, because the Converse-based ones are kind of lame. Whatever, dude.
Who would buy Harley sneakers?
All right.
A lot of people do.
Next up in the news, and this comes from Web Bike World, rent a chief with expansion of Indian Motorcycles rental program. America's first motorcycle company has just expanded their rental program, and they're putting their best foot forward with this one. Indian Motorcycles will be offering this rental program to 14 new affiliates available in Canada and the United States, providing a total of 25 locations, including San Diego, Sturgis, Austin, Nashville, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Panama City Beach, Vancouver, and more. Each will provide a fleet of the newest and best Indian motorcycles to riders wishing to temporarily try out a bike, whether for a simple 4 hours or for the week. The rental program will include damage coverage along with the obligatory requirements of motorcycle endorsement and proper gear, with closed-toed shoes and DOT-approved helmet, although renters can also acquire a loaner helmet with the program if needed.
Would you borrow a helmet?
Would I borrow a helmet? I don't.
If it got me off the lot. Look, I'm the chopper guy. You're not going to get rid of that. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a chopper guy.
I'm so used to full faces.
I wore a full face when I had my West Coast chopper, and I took a ration of shit from it from everybody. And now it's like listen, I told you guys before, I can't mess this thing up. This is all I got.
We ain't talking about a lot here then.
Yeah, right. Trust me, I know. Just don't tell my wife.
I'm so used to wearing a full face. Like if I had to put someone else's full face on, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
No.
The breathing, the fucking nose, you know.
Buying underwear at a garage sale. Well, I believe
exactly. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's a big Florida thing, though.
What, underwear at a garage sale?
Garage sale, orange one.
Oh, no. Hard pass. Hard pass. All right, breaking news on Valentino Rossi's team from Motorcycle Sports. Valentino Rossi's team will have Ducati motorcycles since the announcement that Valentino Rossi's team would be a reality in the MotoGP category with the proper support of Aramco. Much has been speculated about which bikes it would use. Now putting an end to all rumors, it was announced today that the structure of the 9-times world champion will work with Ducati motorcycles in an agreement that will last for 3 years. And as Paolo Ciabatti had already said last week when confirmed that negotiations were close to being finished. So that's awesome. My second favorite MotoGP racer of all time, back in the seat. Totally cool.
Nice. I think Ducatis are cool. I think they're very. I think they're a pretty cool motorcycle. You know what I mean? They're very mechanical looking and very mechanical sounding. For me, dude, like I'm a AMA superbike geek forever. Like I loved when Harley used to field bikes there. I loved the Battle Twins, and when those were gone, we were left with the Ducatis. You know, and like the Ducati was the original. That was the original like BRL and King of the Baggers, because when those things came around the track, there was no mistaking them. You know? No, they're very unique. It's like what is that bike that was built? I believe it was built in Australia. The gentleman passed away now, but the Briton or something like that. familiar with that one, where it had a very unique exhaust note just based on the way that the engine was engineered. I think that's where you get with the Ducatis and stuff like that.
Yeah, one more piece of news just real quick. It applies to this weekend. Just so you guys know, Ultimate Motorcycling reports that Bagger Racing League expands over 100 riders ready to race.
Holy shit.
Pretty cool, right?
That's pretty cool.
And
again, all the naysayers, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Do they have a list of the riders and categories out yet?
I don't think they do. I talked to Bitos just yesterday about this, and he had what he had told me was it was pretty much 50-50 between the super fast pro guys and the guys that were in the expanded classes and stuff. So seems like it's going to be pretty bitchin' field.
Wow.
Chris, John has some news that he wants to announce too.
Yeah.
To do with Indian. Yeah,
we teamed up with Indian to get a challenger, so we're gonna have a challenger here shortly.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to get into that. I have been for a little while. So we got Clockworks involved. We Saddleman, electric lighting, exhaust is still up in the air. What we're doing as far as that, going with the Barnstorm riser kit and the gauge relocation. Bare knuckle lift kit. So
nice.
I can't wait for this to get here and get underway. So
dude, that motorcycle has my name on it. I mean, legit has my name on it.
I'll let you look at it.
I think they're awesome. I'm not one of these late to the party kind of guys with this bike. From the minute I saw it, I was in.
Same with me.
And like I said, on paper, man, it's tough to argue with the frame technology, the suspension technology, the braking technology. We know there's 100 pound.
Yes.
I want to think about that. 100-pound weight penalty on that.
Yes.
There's very few drag racing classes for cars that weigh 3,000 pounds that have 100 pounds. Right. I mean, moving that ballast around and stuff. I mean,
we're back to drag racing, John.
Yeah, here we go.
Gotta go drag racing. Someone's got to go drag racing.
Hey, listen, Jason, I have some exciting opportunities for you with some sponsorship deals with Cycle Source, but we'll get to that after the show.
Right.
Just wanted to bring those up. Till then, hey man, I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. This has been the Torque Quick 60.
Oh, thank you, Chris. So it's time to move on down the show. The ticker here. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go to our new product showcase, take a break, and then we're gonna come back with our guest tonight, Mr. Cody Childress. We'll be back in the SHINE WERKS studio here in just a moment.
Very cool.
Hey there, everybody. It's Jason Hallman for this week's Torque Performance Television New Product Showcase. And this week, I picked the G16 communicator from Lexan Moto. Now, you've heard about Lexan for years. They make a fantastic feature-rich product. Their LT4 Pro is still being produced, and it's a fantastic communicator. In fact, it's the one that I keep on my new Bell Carbon Eliminator helmet. The G16 is also feature-rich. It still has the SOS beacon, and what's great about this is not only can you communicate up to 16 riders, you can also music share for those 16 riders. These retail for $169.99 for a single pack and $299 for a dual pack. Here's what you need to know about the G16. It has a USB-C cord for fast charging. It has a 2-year warranty. It connects with 16 riders and is available in a single or a dual pack. Go to lexanmoto.com to find a dealer near you or purchase online. I'm Jason Hallman for Torque Performance Television. Have a great week.
All right, so we're back in the SHINE WERKS studio, and it's time to go to our...
Do you use the Lexan on your helmet?
I do. I've had the Lexan for a long time. I really like it a lot. I've got the LT4 Pro, which allows me to communicate with up to 4 different rider. But it's awesome, man. I didn't think that it was going to be as useful as what it is. but I don't ride with a bike that has audio on it. I've got Dynas and FXRs right now. So I've had it, and dude, I've had a lot of people call me on it, and they don't realize that I'm even riding.
They don't even know you're on a bike.
Yeah, the audio is
fantastic. I have two. I love them.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And the dudes over there at Lexan, they take care. Their customer service is unbelievable. So,
you know what's fun? I've been selling them for probably 20 months. I've never had a warranty claim.
No, me neither. I've never. I had a customer break the little clip, and I called over to Lexan, and they sent me a box of like 10 of them. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. So I got some extras. So we're going to go to commercial break real quick, and we're going to come back with Cody Childress. We'll be right back after this.
Cool.
Hey guys, Mikkel here from Clockworks. Today I'm going to talk to you about a fantastic cleaning product that we offer called SHINE WERKS. I usually apply the product on one side of the microfiber towel and usually have a dry side, so kind of like the Karate Kid, you're going to do a wax on, wax off, clean it with one side, flip it to the dry side, you'll have no streaks left. But SHINE WERKS is a really great product that cleans and details the entire motorcycle for you. Everybody knows us because of our fantastic Clockworks Flare windshields, but a lot of people didn't know that we also have a great cleaning product. SHINE WERKS is a cleaning product that will clean and detail the whole bike. Now you can have something that will safely clean and protect the matte finish and also shine the gloss part as well as the windshield and any chrome you have on the motorcycle. Pick up a bottle at your local dealership, give us a call, order it on getclock.com. You can even find us on Amazon Prime now.
This is Danny Wilson. You're watching Torque Performance Television.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
All right, welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. I'm your host, Nathan Allman, with my co-host, John O'Brien. Hey, have you used any of the 1620 clothing? That stuff that
I haven't, and when every week the commercials on, like I gotta fucking order some of this stuff.
Yeah, you do. And let me know when you want to do that. There's a discount code that I put out on Instagram, but everybody could use it. But it's honestly, it's worth every penny. It's worth every single penny. It's time to bring in our guest for this evening. If you're in the performance, basically in the community around Sturgis, online, everything, you know who this guy is. He's been around for a long, long time. Started his career in the motorcycle industry back in the early 2000s. He was a Chopper Dog member. He owned a company called Bad Company Customs way back in the day, sold that company. He built some killer machines, some real high profile stuff, but he never kind of broke out of, he's from a community called Abilene, Texas, and it's really kind of a very unique place. It's one of my favorite places on the absolute planet. It's 100,000 people live kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and they have kind of one or two of everything they need, and they're great people. And he's one of my best friends, and I wanted to introduce him to everybody. So without further ado, I'll give you our first guest. There he is. What's happening?
What's up, guys?
Nothing. Can you hear us good?
I can hear you great.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. So I was telling everybody on here, I mean, you've been around in the motorcycle industry for quite a long time. And, you and I came to know each other through the Chopper Dogs in that scene and our everything has kind of come full circle. And, you've had, just to give everybody kind of an update, you've won the FXR show in Sturgis 2 different times with an FXR, and you've also won it with a Dyna. And, you've done a lot of things, and you're just kind of that quiet dude in the back of the room.
I just like being the quiet guy in the back of the room. So I don't ever like to put myself out there. I can be loud and boisterous, but I prefer to just sit back and let my work speak for itself.
Well, you do a good job at that. I mean, arguably, if we go through, and we probably should show some of the pictures I went through, and some of the pictures that you sent me, some of the pictures that I have from some of the places we've been together, and then, of course, all the pictures from long ago. Anytime you get to introduce somebody in this kind of a forum, John, you're talking to somebody that has, when back in the day he owned a dealership. This is a self-made dude, just like you and I. Had a dealership. He was a Paramount dealer. He built lots of really cool bikes. The first bike I want to talk to everybody about is he built a chrome framed Paramount that we've got some pictures of. There it is right there in raw metal. And Cody, there's an interesting story that I'll let you tell at the end of this. But why don't you walk us through some of this bike here, because this bike this is a very tumultuous bike for you. This bike came to fruition at a hard time for you.
I don't even know where to start with that bike, to be honest. I actually started building that bike around the time that my wife's dad was diagnosed with cancer. That's when I actually started building that bike. So I was spending every waking hour messing with it. Truth be told, I was trying to pinch Kid Rock's bike a little bit. Actually took a lot of shit from Jesse over it. He called it the Fiero with the GT kit versus Kid Rock's bike being the Ferrari. Which was cool. I didn't really, it didn't bother me. I learned a lesson there, like, don't copy other people's shit. But at the time, I was a fanboy. It was part of being Chopper Dogs, and that's what I wanted. So, long story longer, that was a Paramount Custom Cycle HCH Softail frame, which, in my opinion, is still the best Softail frame that's ever been built. So I bought that from Aaron, built a bike out of it. I think I got to ride the bike a total of 3 miles.
Before it sold?
Before it got stolen.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, here we go. This is the story.
So during the process of building that bike, I was solely focused on that bike, nothing else. My wife was struggling with her dad being diagnosed with cancer. I was struggling with it, so I was using all my attention to build that bike.
The bike was your escape.
It was, but it was at the expense of my wife and family. I was using it to get away instead of really being where I needed to be with her. So anyway, we finished the bike. I ride it around the block. I load it in a trailer, and we drive to New Orleans to the Steel Pony Show. Mind you, my father-in-law had passed away about 4 weeks before I finished the bike. We load up, drive to New Orleans, get there. I unload the bike in the parking lot to show a friend of mine that I had met, load it back in the trailer, and never see it again.
That's when it was stolen.
Yes. Stolen in a hotel parking lot, the Lowe's Hotel in New Orleans, the very night that I got there. So over the years, people have said, well, were you bothered by it? And I wasn't. I can remember the night it got stolen. I woke up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and told my wife, I said, something's not right. I said, I just got a weird feeling. She's like, well, go down and check on it. I'm like, nah, I think it's okay. Wake up the next morning, walk down, my truck, my trailer, my bike, about $15,000 worth of parts. I'd sold a guy in New Orleans that I was delivering, toolbox full of tools. I mean, basically my life savings. I mean, I didn't have any money when I built that bike. I had been saving money since I was in the Army. And I mean, all total, about $70,000 down the drain because I had no insurance.
Jesus Christ.
So, but it taught me probably one of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned in life. And so when I think about that bike, I don't really think anything bad about it other than I spent more time building that bike instead of being with my father-in-law and my wife. And that bike was my father-in-law was taken away first. Then the bike was taken away, and it was almost like hey, wake the fuck up, pay attention to what's important. These other things can wait. And so as hard of a lesson as it was to learn, it was probably one of the most important lessons I've ever learned, because it was probably the nicest bike I'd built to date at that time, but it was gone just as quick as my father-in-law was.
Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, yes, sir.
With no insurance, no way to get home, dude, how weren't you fucking mad? How aren't you mad now?
Dude, I'm. You can ask Jason. I'm patient to a fault. I mean, I don't get mad very often. When I do get mad, it's not healthy for me or anybody else. So, that night in New Orleans, my wife's like, "We're gonna fly home. What are we gonna do?" And I'm like, "Fly home? Shit, we can't afford to fly home. We may not be able to afford to eat tonight." So, I called my dad and I was like, "Hey, my dad was a biker, and I called him and I said, hey, here's the situation." He's like, "Okay, I'm on my way." So that night I walked around New Orleans by myself, that city I'd never been in, walking around New Orleans, just kind of looking, like, think maybe I would see it. And a cop pulled up and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just walking around." He goes, "You need to get your ass back to wherever you're staying. It's not safe for you to be out here." Well, I was young and I'm like, fuck, what are they going to do? At this point, what else could they do to me? So
What else?
I just walked around and so my wife and I hung out at the hotel and drank probably more than we should. And then waited for my dad and mom to show up and snatch us up and take us home. So, but what's so funny is I've never been mad about it. I've never, not one time, been like, I don't know, because the lesson was so great that I couldn't be mad about it. I mean,
the universe has a weird place of a weird way of making you poignantly aware of things that are important, right? Like you said, this is the most important lesson you have. And I'm glad you told the story on here, and I'm glad you told to John. And the bike was never recovered. I mean, Cody and I have been friends now for about 10 years. And, this is a very close relationship between the two of us. And we both have decided that if the opportunity ever presented itself to find that bike, we would both do whatever it needed to be done to put that back where it was supposed to be, because it's a very unique bike. If you look at that bike, if you look at the pictures of that bike, it's got a drilled down tube. It's got a it's a chrome frame bike. I mean, someone's seen that bike. Someone knows what that bike is. But,
without it, there's a lot of custom shit on there. It's not like you could just flip it.
Yeah, and it's all Cody's work too, and so he talks about it, and you can tell that it's something that it's meaningful to him, and it doesn't make him mad, and that's the reason it's a good story.
And I don't want to interject, but that particular bike, that's the first bike when I learned to TIG weld. That was the first bike I started TIG welding on. Everything else at that point I had MIG'd, but I wasn't at a level yet that I could do the tank or the down tube on that bike. So the tank and the down tube on that bike were done by a guy named Jethro in North Carolina. So I don't want to take credit for that tank or that down tube. So that was done by a guy named Jethro, who was an extremely talented metal fabricator. So
but we can switch things up and show up some of the other bikes that you've built. I mean, what a lot of people don't realize, John, about Cody is that he has a full working fab shop in his backyard, and he's very humble about it. And he doesn't, he's kind of aw shucks, and it's kind of funny. And there's pictures. He's got a CFL. There's a picture in some of the assets there that Chris has, and every part on that bike except for the frame, any sheet metal and all that stuff was all built by Cody. He's proficient with an English wheel and a welder and a finishing hammer, and he has all that shit in his garage too. So you can't let him pull the wool over your eyes, because he knows his way around a shop. He's taken lots of classes. He's a painter too. He's really good at that, and he pays people to paint his bike because he's a fan too. He likes other people's work, don't you?
I do like other people's work. I mean, I'm a fan. First and foremost, I'm a fan of this industry. So, I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm an amateur amongst so many pros that, I mean, looking back to where I started and where I come from, I mean, I don't want to be the best at everything. That's not who I want to be. I mean, I want to share. If there's a guy that can paint better than me, I want him to paint. If he can machine better than me, or if he can make a tank better than me, I don't mind sharing that. I like to do the stuff, but I don't have any reservations about telling people that, this guy did this or this guy did this. I want everybody to get credit, because I'm a fan first and foremost. I've been fortunate enough to build some stuff and be recognized by my peers, which still seems unreal sometimes, because, I mean, it's taken me 20 years to actually be willing to even put anything in a show. I mean, I've just never been one to build a bike and take it somewhere and go, hey, look what I did. That's not been my nature. With the FXR thing, I think I've gotten in a comfort zone, and I think that's kind of where my home is, but I don't know. I mean, I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy being around the guys. I'm still a fan. I still see guys and I'm like, that's Paul Yaffe here. That's Aaron Green, or that, I mean, I still fanboy out sometimes. I mean, I'm like I say, I'm a fan, and I'm just fortunate enough to have been able to have learned a craft and been decent at it. Like I say, I'm still an amateur amongst pros.
Cody, which do you prefer building? Do you prefer building the choppers, or do you prefer building the Dynas and the FXRs?
I would say building. I would say the choppers were more building, to where the FXRs and Dynas are more assembling. I'm very meticulous in how I assemble them and what I use, but I don't feel like there's a whole lot that goes into building a Dyna or an FXR. I mean, they are what they are. I mean, if you want to make a tank, or if you want to make a fairing, I mean, I modify the frames on a lot of the bikes. But I think building the choppers is more fun because there's more work involved.
That white one, is that one the Dyna that you won with?
Yes. And that bike, I mean, it's a nice bike, and I enjoyed building it, but there's not a lot of fab work involved in it, nor of the FXRs. There's just not a lot of fab work. So I have chopper fever right now, but I got. But I've got my dad's shovel head that I really want to build, but I've also got an FXR project that I can't say much about it, but it won't be ready this year. But I'm bringing the fucking heat in 2022. So,
man, what can you tell us? What can you tell us about the FXR that you won 2 with in Sturgis?
It's a 91 FXR that I traded. A piece of shit Audi A44. It was a fucking bucket too. And I didn't even know anything about FXRs. This was in 2009 maybe. A guy wanted to trade, so we traded, and I let it sit in the shop for a long time. And my dad kept giving me shit about this FXR and what it was and what I was going to do with it. And so my relationship with my dad's pretty tumultuous, and we started kind of hanging out. And again in 2010. So he kept giving me shit about doing something with it. He's like, you either need to sell it or do something with it. So I had ridden them and I knew they handled well, but I was just like, to be honest, for a long time, I was like, God, those are fucking ugly. I mean, and this bike stock was really ugly. So a friend of mine, Brad Barnes, y'all know Boosted Brad. He was building, I guess a couple years later, he was building an FXR. So we went to the FXR show in 2015, I believe, and Brad won the FXR show. And I was like, wow, man, I got one of those, and I think I should probably do something with it. So I actually started it, and you know, my dad pushed me a little bit to start it, and my dad had gotten sick, wasn't in great health, and so when I started it, it changed form a couple different times. I could probably build 3 bikes out of all the shit that I have when I started that bike. So my dad passed away in 15, so I pushed it to the side, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. So and then my little brother started pushing me. He's like, you got to do something. You know, you said you're going to go to Sturgis. You said you're going to build this bike. You said you're going to go to Sturgis. You said you're going to win the FXR show. So I changed it up, came up with a new plan, put it together with the help of Jason, my brother, a couple of other friends. We barely made it to Sturgis with it. A long week trying to get it ready. I never expected to win anything. I just wanted to participate. So, I mean, it's hard for me to talk about it because I just don't like to talk about myself or anything that I do. So, I wanted to do something a little, I don't want to say outside the box. I feel like it's a little different than what the FXRs were that were there and I had seen before. So, we showed up with it. I got to take that ring home, and I don't know, man. It's still surreal to me to be able to go to a place and be picked by your peers for something that I enjoy doing in my shop out behind my house. I mean, I still don't believe it.
Cody, what was the first you won with that twice? What was the first year you won with it?
The first year I won with it would have been 2016. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
2016. Bringing it home on a trailer, of course, because I don't want to hear all the bullshit about if you don't ride it or what all the fucking bullshit people talk about. So, I brought it home on a trailer, got it all the way home. Was sitting in my driveway. I was like, man, I really need to rinse this thing off. So I run it down to the car wash, bringing it home. I threw it off the trailer. The strap broke. I threw it off the trailer and fucked it up. So,
oh my God.
So that's where the part 2 came in of that bike. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of how that went down between 16, 17, the bike got torn up, and so I decided to redo it.
We didn't go in 18, if you remember.
Right.
Remember, we stayed home in 18 because that was when my dad was sick and my dad passed. So when we went back in 19, that's when you brought that fire, son. Literally.
I do like it in its second form better. I didn't change a lot. I mean, there was some damage to the bike, so I retired the paint that was on it, fixed the damage, changed up some internal components of the motor or the engine. Some people don't like for it to be called a motor. I was gonna retire the bike, if you will, just because my little brother was so proud of me winning the FXR show, and they had a whole bunch to say. And then in 17, my little brother was killed. And so that ring that they showed a while ago is because my little brother was probably, of all the people, was the happiest for me when I won that show. At the day of his funeral, I put that ring on his finger before I closed the casket. So I was going to retire the bike, and then I could just hear my brother saying, redo it and go do it again. So, which really wasn't my intention to take it and win another show with the bike. It just was, I wanted to redo the bike and go back to Sturgis. So I'll always support the FXR show. It's one of my favorite shows to do.
Yeah. Joe puts on a really good show, and I'm so glad that we have like a community of people that orbit around the performance bikes like we have. I mean, it's, you know, it's cool because we're all in that same space all those times for those shows, and you know, everybody supports everybody in that, and you know, you've got a lot going on as far as, you know, the expectations are high. I want to switch gears a little bit, and I want to hear you talk a little bit about, you know, being a Paramount dealer and the impact that Aaron Green left on the industry and on you and on me and everybody. And then I want to talk about the PCX, because I went on early on. I've always kind of been into the performance stuff, and I went on an FXR board one time. I think you sent me there, and God, I posted something about a PCX, and you would have thought I told everybody their dog was ugly. It was pretty nasty.
I think Aaron Green, I don't want to say he's underrated, but if you ask me if I could have any one person in the country build me a motorcycle because I couldn't do it myself, I would let Aaron Green build me a motorcycle. I think Aaron Green is probably as talented as any, maybe more talented than any motorcycle builder in the country. Aaron and I are friends, but I don't talk to Aaron on a regular basis. I mean, I see him at Sturgis. I was a Paramount dealer back when they had production bikes. Loved Aaron, loved Mark, his mom, Gail. They were great to work with. That little bike right there was a fantastic bike to ride. Probably as much fun as any bike I've had except for my current FXR. But Aaron is a brilliant, I mean, quiet, doesn't say a whole lot, but is a brilliant motorcycle builder. I mean, I can't say enough good things about how humble he is. I mean, he's another one of those guys, super quiet, but don't get him rashed up, because
no,
he might he'll fill that whole place up with uppercuts. I mean, he can get rowdy,
yeah.
but
he gives uppercuts away like Oprah gives away cars. That, you know, you get an uppercut and you get an uppercut and you get an uppercut.
Yeah.
He's fun to hang out with. So he's like he's chill until he's not, and then when he's not chill. But he's one of those dudes.
That's the whole family. That's the Green family. I mean, they just you know. But I'm an Aaron fan. Shit. I mean, even 20 years later, when I see him, I mean, hell, I got him to autograph a bottle for me, a bottle of whiskey at Sturgis, because I'm still a fan. I mean, I mean, even though we're friends, I'm still a fan of him. I mean, I like seeing his stuff. I miss seeing his stuff. I mean, I got to go, golly, I don't know what year it was. It was when Artistry and Iron was going on in Las Vegas. My wife and I don't know if we flew out or drove. No, we drove out to Reno, and the night before Artistry and Iron, Aaron was taking that White Knuckles bike to Artistry and Iron.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, why don't you come by and help? So I went by, and being a guy that, I mean, I knew a little bit, but not to the level of what they were doing. So I went by, and it was when he had that, he called it a soft rigid. It was a soft tail frame that looked like a rigid with all internal air. I don't think anybody's built anything like it. I mean, I don't know.
No one's even tried, dude. He broke it.
I mean, yeah. I think you're right.
He broke that idea. You can't touch that idea without stealing from him. No one can.
Right. Yeah. And I was so blown away by it that I didn't. But I was there and I was helping, but I was so scared to help because I felt like I was so out of my league. He's like, dude, just grab a tool and get to work. And I'm like, man, I don't want to fuck this up. I mean, I'm, I don't know. It was surreal, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. It was just incredible to be around those guys that were at that level that they were at that long ago and be able to
20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that bike was way, way ahead of its time. I mean, it ran on alcohol.
It had a car, a root style supercharger on it.
Yeah.
And a giant engine. There's a video, if you go, and it's pixelated, but if you go on YouTube and type in Paramount White Knuckles, that bike, when you hear that thing fire up, it's unbelievable. I mean, you can tell, you can see. Aaron said it was the only bike that when he started it up, he goes, normally people would walk in to see the bike. He goes, when he started that bike up, people walked away. Like, nope, no, I don't want none of that.
No, it ran on alcohol, and in the front of the tank he had built butterflies, and it was an induction system with butterflies that was fully functioning. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know that anybody's built anything.
No one has.
In my opinion, to that level. I mean, there's the dude at Schiller Cycle Works, I think, right now.
There it is. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Look at Ray Ray.
So back,
throw your panties on the stage, man. That dude's just crazy.
I will tell you that.
What year was that?
05, 06, something like that.
04, 05. I will tell you that Aaron was super influential to me in the bike that got stolen. I bought 3 frames from Aaron. 2 chopper frames and then like a Pro Street style frame. That was right when the 280 tire came out. Aaron was one of the first guys in the country, to my knowledge. I can't, you can fact check me. It'll probably be fucking wrong, but to my knowledge, Aaron was one of the first guys in the country to get 280 tires.
He was.
So
got him
when I ordered the frames, he said, if you'll order the frames, I'll give you some 280 tires. I'll sell you. There was no giving. I'll sell you some 280 tires. So I got 2 280 tires. One that was on the bike that was stolen, and then one that was on another bike that I don't know if you have any pictures of it, but those may have been the first 280 bikes in Texas. I mean, I would venture to say they probably were. So one of them still roaming around, and the other one, we don't know where it's at. So
right. Well, that's
Aaron
the thing
was
that I
super.
wanted to take. Go ahead. Sorry.
Aaron was just super influential, and like anytime I had a question, I could call Aaron and ask him. And I was like, a 280 tire bike? I don't know, man. He's like, no, you can do it. And he just, I don't know. He's just a super helpful guy, super humble guy, but so incredibly talented. So.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was I wanted to make sure we got that across to not just about Aaron, but that you've been around this for a very long time, and you've taken on a lot of challenges that a lot of people still haven't taken on in their careers yet, and you are you're not professionally, I don't know. You say you're an amateur among professionals. I wouldn't say that. I would say that at this point in time, it's not your vocation, but you're not an amateur by any stretch of the imagination. If you look through the pictures of the other bikes that you've built too, the CFL with the blue tank, and you've owned some high profile bikes too that other people built because you work hard and that's what you want to do. That CFL right there, you did everything on that. You painted that, built that. You bought a frame off Jesse. You got wheels off Jesse, but you built that tank. You built the fenders, right?
Yes.
And there's that one. Is that what the purple one that's up right now on the screen? Is that a Paramount?
Yes. That's the third bike I ever built. That's an HCH frame. I made the rear fender, modified the old tank. It's a villain tank that was modified, made the front fender.
I mean, there's people that still haven't taken that on, to this day.
Cody, what do you have coming up next? You have anything cooking as far as either for this Sturgis or next Sturgis? What do you got in the works?
2022, I'm going to bring an FXR. 4130 chrome moly FXR chassis. It'll be a I mean, I'm going to modify the frame. I mean,
So it's a factory frame modified.
No, it's a full chrome moly chassis.
Okay.
It'll be. I don't know. I'm afraid to say too much just because I want it to be a surprise. I mean,
You'll be utilizing that badass that frame table you have out in the garage. I know that.
Sure. Yeah.
That'll probably be that'll probably be a long week before Sturgis. I'm sure I'll be sweating my ass off in Abilene like I did in 16. Dude, so I get it, he and I, trying to put all the parts together to get everything situated for 2016. When he said he could have built 3 bikes, I have pictures in my phone of the 3 different iterations of that thing and him making last minute changes. And I land Sunday in Abilene, which when you land in Abilene, they land you with like a lanyard, like they just, like the tether on the plane. The airport's so damn small. They land you like that. I get there, we go right to the shop, we start working, and he and I worked around the clock all week. Left Friday, and when we left Friday, the gas tank was in the back seat of the truck, and we were going, and the FXR was in the back of the trailer heading there, and we finished putting that thing together in the front yard of the rental house in Sturgis. But that thing, when we rolled into the show, everybody knew what was up. That thing was a badass bike, and it's fast, dude. It's got an R&R 124. I forgot how fast it was when I rode it last summer when we were there. We were coming back from the ride we were on, and Cody jumps on the freeway, and he's on the Dusty's big wheel bagger, and he's rolling down the freeway. So I'm trying to catch him, and I hit the gas on the on-ramp and forgot how fast that fucking bike is. And that thing just started going one way to the other. I was using the whole lane. I was like, whoa, forgot about that. That little tire on the back, it's got like a 150 on the back. That thing's fast, dude. It's like greased lightning.
To answer John's question, though, I do want to bring an FXR to Sturgis. Chrome moly frame. I plan on making all the sheet metal for it. It'll be an M8 drivetrain.
Cool.
But won't be rubber mounted. Kind of a little bit of a tribute to that PCX in a sense. That PCX was a Dyna-esque, but it was solid mounted. So, listening to Aaron talk a couple of different times and talking to Aaron about solid mount versus rubber mount. I want to do something a little bit different. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that, but at this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll tell everybody exactly what I'm building, and then if they want to step up. I mean, I'll compete against anybody. So
you going with a big inch M8?
Probably 125, maybe 129 at this point. I mean, if a little bit's good, a lot's got to be better. And the M8
that sounds good.
Let me tell you something. I'm new to the M8. When the M8 came out, I was anti M8. I'm like, fuck that motor, fuck that bike. Well, I have a 2020 Softail Standard that I did not know in stock form how much torque that bike made.
Yes.
Dude, I was shocked. I mean, I couldn't even, it's still a bone stock, and it runs good. So,
we got a 128 Road King, and we're 136, 138. And
really?
fucking things are rock star, even on the even on the heavy bike.
Yeah, I'm super impressed. So, and that's why I want to do a chrome moly chassis. I'll probably make my own chrome moly swing arm. I want it to be super lightweight and put, a decent power plant in it. And if I was betting, it's probably not going to be stock dimensions. It's probably going to be 4 up, 2 out, something kind of a little chopper-esque FXR maybe. I mean,
cool.
I'm excited about doing it. I just need to get off my lazy ass and get moving. So
get it done.
Yeah. So
too many irons in the fire, man. Too many irons in the
fire. I do. I do have a lot going on, and I want to go back to when I say I'm an amateur amongst pros. The reason I say that is because the guys like yourself and John and Chris that dedicate your life to the motorcycle industry, you guys are the pros. I had a motorcycle business, got scared, bailed out, and took a job. So the guys that have ridden the storm, and you know, the motorcycle business was really good and really bad and really good and really bad. I mean, the pros are the guys who stick it out and fight day in and day out to make the industry better. I mean, I get to benefit from the work that guys like you and John and Chris put in, because y'all make the industry better. So I get to benefit from the work you guys put in when I don't have to put it in and day out to make the industry work. So that's
everybody's
why I say
cog in that wheel, though. I mean, you know, you spend your money in the industry and you support the shows and you make sure you're present and accounted for. And, you know, you like you said earlier, like, you know, you have talents that you have the ability to do, but you like to reach out to other people because you're a fan as well. So, you know what I mean? And so that's why it's so important to have dudes like you on here too, because you move the needle, you know, you support guys like John and us and Chris and, you know, the other shops around and stuff. And, you know, we appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. And I love meeting the people. I love meeting new people. I mean, Sturgis is my wife a couple of years ago when I went up to Sturgis, and because she had never been, she was like, I want to go. So she gets up there and she's like, this is boring. I'm like, what'd you think it was? She's like, I thought it was going to be strippers and cocaine and titties everywhere and all. I'm like, no, like, it's the industry circle for me that was the most important. Like, she's like, all right,
I was there, John. She was so let down. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, she flew in and I think I don't know if she was disappointed or just didn't expect it, you know. And she's like,
she was interested, very interested, and suddenly no interest at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, but at 10:30 at night, we're going to bed. And she's like, we're going to bed earlier here than we do at home. And I'm like, yeah, man. I mean,
John, I got to tell you, John, every year when we're there, I'll go down, we'll pop in after the show, you know, in the middle of the afternoon, like we're at a show from 11 to 4, whatever, we'll come back. And I go back and Cody's like, I'm going to go call home. And I go downstairs in the basement or whatever house we're renting. And there's Cody's just, I'm like, you sleeping, bro? He's like, I'm just
I get more rest in Sturgis than I ever do at home, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also day drinking in Sturgis that, I mean, you know, I tell you what my wife did like about Sturgis was the muscly dude that bartends at the Iron Horse or whatever the fuck that place is on Lozelle.
Oh, what's that dude's name? That's, yeah. Oh, man, I cannot remember his name now. He's at all the good events. He's at TMMR too.
Yeah, she'd show up to TMMR if she was there. So.
Oh yeah, he's there every year. The muscle dude that wears the kilt. I'm trying to remember what that dude's name is now.
I don't remember.
Yep.
Keep pretending like you don't know, Jason.
No, I only know because every time I see him, I send her a picture. I send Ange a picture of it. Listen, man, we gotta move on to the rest of the show. But look, man, I love you more than anything, man. I appreciate you being on the show, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of tell some stories and that. And I can't wait to work on the FXR with you. And I like before we got on here, I realized that the last time I saw you in person was in Sturgis. So we got to change that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wish we lived closer, but luckily we have Zoom and FaceTime and Instagram and Facebook and Skype and all this other stuff that, I mean, so we can keep in touch. So, but
yeah,
absolutely. Hopefully too, I'll see. I didn't plan on being in Sturgis this year because my wife booked a trip to Turks and Caicos. And so little did we know our passports were expired and we're probably not getting passports in time to go. So I secretly hope she doesn't hear me say this, but I might get to go to Sturgis. So,
I not so secretly hope that you do get to go to Sturgis. If you can't get the passports, there's no reason why you shouldn't go to Sturgis if you can't get the passport thing situated. But if you can get the passport, you gotta have some family time. Well, I understand that. So,
happy wife, happy life. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, all right, brother. I love you much, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow, as I do every day. So,
Cody, it's good talking to you.
Buddy. Nice to meet you, John. Hope to meet you soon.
Nice to meet you. All right, take care.
Good, thank you.
Oh man, he's just, that dude's one of my best friends in the whole world. So it's topical. The guy builds an amazing motorcycle. He's so good to work with because he is so meticulous and he's so demanding of himself and of the stuff that he puts out there. He's really, really fussy. He built that FXR 3 times on paper. He literally has 3 different sets of wheels, 3 different sets of brakes, 3 different sets of handlebars. I mean, he will go all out to make it right. Yeah, he's a very talented guy. He's got a good eye. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have part 2 of last week's tech tip with Steve Chamberlain and Mark Matthews out at Texas Performance MC, and then we will go to From the Gram. So we'll come back here shortly to the SHINE WERKS studio. We'll be right back.
You're watching Torque Performance TV.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
We're ready to race. What's your strategy? Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Tech Tips on Torque Performance Television. It's Mark again from Texas Performance Motorcycles. This week's tech tip, we're going to kind of go over some basics of what we like to carry on our bikes when we travel, and how that set might differ depending on what kind of bike you ride and what you feel comfortable tackling on the side of the road. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to step behind the camera and I'm going to have our buddy Steve come on and kind of go over what's in his bag, what he carries and why he carries that stuff.
Hi guys, Steve Chamberlain, S Chamberlain 5150, S Chamberlain 5150 on YouTube. So Mark was talking about his tools he carries. Mine differentiates just a little bit, but we all got a lot of the same stuff. I run chain drive on my bike, so I just have, you know, a little cleaning, little wax, adjusting suspension. You know, I have a nice little suspension adjust tool. I've never taken that one out. Some zip ties, you know, these things, this always stays in my bike at all times. So zip ties, you never know when that's going to come about. Some super glue, you know, it's just, I've built this tool bag over time, and it's just, you buy some stuff and you throw it in there. Then we got some extra fuses, little fuses, a new maxi fuse. I had a problem with the maxi fuse the other day, so I decided to keep that one in it. This is just a little sunglass case that I have a bunch of spare hardware in, exhaust, bolts. I'm not gonna dump it out, but you know, exhaust studs, exhaust nuts. So I got those in there. Little cleaning brush, you know, again, you never know when you gotta like quick clean something out. Something that I, just so it stays in the bike, my little rain sock for my air cleaner, you know, so I always know that's in my tool bag, that's always in the bike. Like Mark said, a rag, and then that's just something random. And then I have a couple of these nice little carrying pouches that I can separate, you know. So then this one, this is all my sockets. I bought a nice 1/4-inch drive, 12-point socket set, the deep ones. It's got some extensions, and then I also have a whole set of Torx bits, you know. So we got those all separated. It's nice to kind of separate these things a little bit, so when you're on the side of the road and semis are blowing past you, you know where your tools are at. Then this little bit bigger one, you know, I just picked these little pouches up from like Home Depot. We got, you know, some wire strippers, some side cutters, you know, a couple pair of little pliers, and a box cutter knife. That's in that one. This one, I believe it is, yeah, some electrical tape, a little thing to put on the springs for your exhaust if you have a stainless exhaust with springs, some Loctites, tire pressure gauge, more electrical tape, and some dielectric grease for some little roadside, and like Mark had, a lighter. It's always nice to have that on there. I run, you know, I have these full sets, metric and standard for the Allens, you know, in case you got to get in a little tighter spot. I bought a Road King a long time ago. They came with this Leatherman tool, and then that ended up making it in the tool bag, because you never know, that might do the trick. Just an assortment of screwdrivers, spark plug, wrench, you know, that you can take a screwdriver, you know, put it in it, use that for leverage. Some more fuses. Then I have wrenches all the way up to 3/4-inch wrench. You know, these all just stay in the bottom. Little tiny from 1/4-inch all the way up to 3/4-inch wrench. I have this Harley brand axle adjuster, even though it won't even work on my bike, but it won't work on someone's bike that I'm riding with. And then, you know, the ratchet for the 1/4-inch drive, and then one more suspension tool. So this is basically what I run on my bike. I don't have the tire repair kit like he does, which I should probably get, and I don't have good stuff for wire repairs. So, you know, after him going over that, I probably should add a couple more things to this. But this bag, it's just from Matco Tools, works great in my touring bike, fits right into the side, and then this is everything I keep in there.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this week's Tech Tips on Torque Performance Television. Don't forget to follow Torque Performance Television at Torque Mag USA on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us, Texas Performance MC on Instagram and TexasPerformanceMC.com. And we'll see you again next week, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Torque Performance Television.
That's a lot. Steve's got a lot of shit in there.
Don't those bags say like maximum like 7.5 pounds or something in them?
Oh, they're beyond that. They're prepared. I got to give them that.
God, I'm surprised he has any room for White Claws.
I know. I know.
I love that dude, man. Steve is such a good guy.
He is a good dude.
Yeah, I love hanging out with him. He's so, and he's just like this giant guy, and he's like, yeah, and then I did this, and then I went over here, and then this happened, and this, and I'm like, whoa, slow down, dude. Like he's out of his mind sometime, man. Listen, welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. It's time for my favorite segment, from the gram, and I've got 4 awesome videos this week that hopefully we can laugh. We're trying. Listen, John, we're trying at this point. We're trying to find something better than the
fat kid in the defense.
The fat kid in the fence thing is
hard to beat.
Here we go. 3. Oh God! So, man, we're gonna have to find like a dedicated sponsor for the from the gram segment, dude. Just somebody that'll sponsor. I want to send that fat kid some love.
Can we interview that fat kid?
I was just thinking, like, how can we find that kid?
Sounds good.
Imagine. And then I hit the fence and I fucking hurt.
He needs some milk.
All right, so let's go to our final segment for the evening from the gram. Oh, where are they at?
They're coming.
Oh, they're coming. They're in group. How does one do that? That's like a move, right? That to me is awesome. That was
and that's way too coordinated for it not to be a planned event.
That's like an inverted plie or something. That is at Sandees 742. Wow. At SANDEEZ 742. So
that's like a challenge to Seabar. Hey, try this. You know?
Yeah, try this. I want to see people try to purposely wreck and see if they can get that done. All right, let's go. This next one is just, sometimes you meet somebody or you see somebody that's doing something and they are having fun regardless of anybody around them. It doesn't matter the environment, and that's what this one is all about.
Daytona.
I don't know what's more epic. His bandana, his awesome chops, or that Trask turbo powered Dyna. That is a lot going on, a lot to unpack in that video. That guy, God love him, he's having a good time.
What do we call that one? 30 seconds of Daytona?
Yeah, 30 seconds of Daytona. I called that. I just called that the burnout. I didn't know what to call it. That's like the hell yeah, brother. This one we found this one. This one I just call this the driveway crash, and I stole this from at Morons Doing Things, which I think is perfect. If you have a motorcycle and somebody wants to learn how to ride a motorcycle, take them somewhere, get a dirt bike, take them somewhere where they're not going to hurt themselves or somebody else, or an electric.
I remember which one this is. This one's great.
Car or a street sign.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Man. Yeah, why wasn't his helmet strapped?
Oh, you have a shitty friend. Whoever let you ride that motorcycle is a shitty friend. That is a lot of motorcycle right there. That's not some little bike.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Dude, he hit that thing. And then he hit that thing.
Dude, listen, the neighborhood, first off, now the neighborhood doesn't have cable for a week, right? He took out the cable box, right? He smashed it. The mailbox. The motorcycle's messed up. It's like, dude, come on.
That was pretty good.
Man. And our fourth and final one is from our friend Danger Dan at Danger Danimal. And I just call this one, whoa. And I don't know if this is him riding or what. I haven't got the backstory on this, but this one was just a perfect way to end a perfect show.
Woo!
It's moldering in the weeds. Oh man. Oh God. I don't know which one was my favorite tonight.
That one. I think the favorite one of the night is the dude learning how to ride in the cul-de-sac.
Oh God. So listen, are you sure you can't go with me?
No.
I'm gonna go BRL tomorrow. So.
Yeah. What time do you leave?
My flight takes off at around noon, I think. So listen, go to the baggerracingleague.com and listen, if you want to watch the race, go to Fight TV, FITE. You can download the app on your phone. I believe they've got a website. You can get the live stream for this. This is how you support these type of things so that they can continue to happen, is you buy the live stream.
I'm definitely buying it.
Yeah, it's not even that expensive. Now I'm going to be there. I'm going to broadcast throughout the course of the weekend. I'm going to take lots of video. I'm going to get lots of footage, but we're going to be there. I get there tomorrow. We went through the itinerary earlier. The race is on Sunday.
Jason, is that going to be on Instagram Live or is that going to be on YouTube?
It'll be right here. It'll be where you're watching this program right now. So, listen, if you're watching this show, you need to sign up for you need to click the alerts so that you know when we come live, and you'll be able to watch on your phone, regardless where you're at. You know, when you're at your daughter's dance recital, losing your mind because she's someone else besides your kid is dancing, you can put your ear pods in. The alert will come up, and you can just watch the race. You can watch the race there. So, we did it, buddy. Episode 9.
Yep, down.
So, listen, I wish you were going. You're not going.
I know.
I'm just going to have to torment you all weekend with text messages, phone calls, videos.
Yeah, send me pictures. Yeah, all the above.
I will.
Whoa, look at that.
Yep. If you guys are looking for
HardcoreCyclesInc.com
motorcycle, make sure you go to hardcorecycles.com. Go there. Listen, if you're not following John on Instagram and Facebook, you're not going to find out what the latest discount code is. He's got a little bit of everything from everybody. If you're in the Florida area and you're looking for a great place to get service, look up cyclestopusa.com. We'll be happy to help you. We sell online too, but John's the juggernaut here of this ship, selling online. So
the parts pin.
Yeah, you're the parts pin. Go to hardcorecycles.com for parts. Go to Cycle Stop USA for service, tech. You need anything, give us a call. John, have a great weekend. Everybody else, have a great, safe weekend. And I will be live from the Bagger Racing League's inaugural Battle of the Baggers.
Can't wait.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks again.